Let's start with the question. How do I solve not enough free disk space when patching? I have a 60 GB SSD and a 2 TB HDD, and the SSD is used for one game, Total War, warhammer-total-war, which takes up 34 GB. To clarify, the SSD have approximately 55 GB of usable space, and the only thing on it is TWWA 34 GB. This gives me approximately 22 GB of free space on the SSD. Steam is installed on the HDD and I'm on Windows 7 64-bit system. Please correct me if I'm wrong on this, but how TWW's patching work is that it needs to allocate the entire space of the game so that it can open each file and rewrite the code. The issue is that each time TWW needs to patch itself, it tries to allocate additional 34 GB, which I don't have on the SSD. Steam tells me there is not enough free disk space. Instead, I've solved the issue by manually moving the game to the HDD and then back again to the SSD every time a patch is up. So it downloads the patch on the HDD, then I move the game back to the SSD. I would like to find an automatic patching of the game so I don't have to manually move the game between disks every time there is a new patch. Ideally, the game would stay on the SSD and the download and patching would happen from the HDD so that it allocates the space on the HDD instead. Can it be solved by removing the association to the library on the SSD for Steam and create a link that leads to the game folder on the SSD? I'd think that this way, Steam would download the patch on the HDD and then update the files on the SSD, thinking that Steam would still be working on the HDD. Is this the best way to do it, or does it involve future problems with patching TWW? My question touches the concept of the answer to this question. How can I move Steam games to another disk? Asked in 2010. In my case, I wouldn't use Steam Mover since I would only need the mklink command, but as described in the previous paragraph, is this a bad idea and should I stay with my current solution? So how can we solve this? There are two possible answers. Answer 1. Unfortunately, as it stands, this is currently not possible. I ran into the same issue with Hollow Knight last week, when an update was sent out. The update itself was only 1 GB, but Steam automatically allocated an additional 9 GB for the update. The only method seems to be to either clear out disk space before you install the patch or just stick the game on your HDD entirely and play it from there. Answer 2. I'm not sure if this will help or not, but I think I figured this out on my Steam. I went to Steam >settings Steam library folders. I added my other hard drive, program files, x86, Steam, as a new library folder, and set it to default. Then I cleared the download cache and tried again, and voila! It worked. It looks like it is using my drive folder as the download cache and then transfers the patch data to the other drive once it is done. Hope this helps. I hope these answers helped, and if they did, please drop a comment and subscribe.